MMA legend Cain Velasquez chasing after the man he allegedly shot. You can see the black SUV chasing that truck. Inside the truck was a man accused of molesting a family member of Velasquez.
So I never thought I would be doing a video that included both Cain Velasquez and Josh Duggar, but sadly we're here. Cain Velasquez, who was for the longest time known as the best UFC heavyweight of all time, was just charged with attempted murder. His daughter or family member apparently was in daycare, and a guy that lived in the daycare, it was a family-run daycare, molested Cain's daughter and God knows however many other kids 100+ times. Like an absolute horror story. This guy was charged, but then was released on bail, and Cain went after him, rammed his car into this guy's car, which was being driven by the guy's stepfather, and Cain ended up open firing, missed the guy, but shot his stepfather, who's alive. But it's an I don't know what to say, it's a disaster. And then you have Josh Duggar, who I think back like in 2007 was first, caught for molesting his siblings, came out again in 2015, turned out that he was molesting 5 kids. 4 of them were his sisters, groping them, that kind of, fondling them. The parents found out about it, the whole Duggar family found out about it, and took Josh to church, and then took Josh to counseling, and Josh came out and said, "I'm so sorry, I won't do it again," whatever. And then just recently, back in 2019, Josh Duggar got charged for having child pornography on his computers. So both ends of the spectrum. I think it's worth talking about pedophilia. Here's the deal. We have no good data about pedophiles because there is nothing that is more shameful, I think. I mean, there's no worse crime. And so when people have the desire, when people are attracted to young kids, they don't come forward and say, "Hey, I'm attracted to young kids, study me," right? What they do is they hide it. And I think many times they'll hide it, and they will join organizations or systems that they think will help them not perpetrate against kids. I think that's why you have so many people that are joining the church who then turn into priests, who then... So here's what we know. There is clearly a correlation between someone's own sexual abuse and trauma and the desire to perpetrate against a kid later in life. It's a clear connection, but there's hesitancy to talk about that connection because people are so fearful of it being misinterpreted to mean that if you've been perpetrated against, you're going to perpetrate, which is not the truth. Very few people that have been perpetrated against turn around and perpetrate against kids. Very, very, very rare. I have worked with clients who have been hurt as kids who are ashamed to tell their family, their friends, even their partners about the abuse because they're worried that people are going to think that they're going to turn around and hurt somebody else. The reality is it's exceedingly rare. But people that do perpetrate against kids almost always have been hurt themselves. Hurt people, right? That saying is true for everything, but especially true when you talk about sexual abuse. That's the first thing. The second thing is we don't really know how to treat pedophilia. There is no good solution for it. Barring chemical castration, there's nothing that we can really do to change the sexual dysfunction. And so as I mentioned before, when somebody has that urge, when they identify that sexual attraction, who do they go to? And I think a lot of times people that are pedophiles don't know what to do. They can't go to a therapist. They can't tell their family. They can't tell their parents. They can't tell anybody. They're just stuck with it. And so it's on them to figure out how they're going to navigate their life without hurting other people. Which brings me to the last piece of this. I want to be really clear that when I say that there's no treatment or that the sexual dysfunction happened to them in the way of their own abuse, those things are true, but I don't think it absolves them from culpability. They are still they're not to blame for their sexual dysfunction, but they are to blame for their behaviors. And there has been clear data showing that pedophiles that act out on it, that engage in the behavior, meaning that they perpetrate against kids, those people oftentimes, from a personality standpoint, have low conscientiousness and low impulse control. Those two things they're responsible for. If you are a pedophile, you are responsible for seeking treatment. Maybe the treatment is not going to help you change your interest in kids, but it will change. It can help you change and control your own behavior. These perpetrators know exactly what they are doing to those kids, unquestionably, and for that, they are entirely responsible. So Josh Duggar, downloading child pornography, groping his sisters, all the while promoting Christian values, I think is disgusting, and I hope that he is held accountable in every way that the law can. And Cain Velasquez shouldn't be open firing. I wish he trusted the legal system, but God, I hope they're lenient when they sentence him. I mean, just put themselves in Cain's shoes. You know, who wouldn't do what he did, right? And if you think about it, who's a bigger threat to society, Cain Velasquez or Josh Duggar? Cain is facing way more time in jail than Josh Duggar. Thank you for watching. If you liked it, please hit the like button, subscribe, all those things. I'll link a cool video here, which the YouTube algorithm says that you're going to like. Or you can check out my new channel over here, which is about psychology in general. Different format than this, but I think you'll find it interesting. Check it out. All right, thanks for watching.